Hey everyone, it's Ethan or Miist back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video. I'm going to be talking about every movie and show I watched last week, and I feel like every week so far this year, to be honest, I've definitely watched more TV than film, and without a doubt, this week for sure that is the case. I watched 4 seasons of TV this week. Really, I watched 3, but let's get into it. Starting it off with my least favorite show season of TV that I watched this week, which was season 2 of WWE Unreal. I think it's fine. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one, mostly because a lot of this stuff I wasn't as interested and I forgot to move. I wasn't as interested and invested as the stuff from season 1, and that's going to be even less so come season 3 because Mel and I haven't really watched wrestling since after SummerSlam. We're literally just starting to get back into it over the past week. We're getting ready for the Rumble season, getting ready for WrestleMania season. But yeah, I mean, this was good still. I ranked it a 76 out of 100. I'm going to grab my phone. I have it charging, but all right, let's keep going. On to His and Hers, a new limited series on Netflix. Go watch it. It's a really fun series. It's very good. It's very well made. Mel and I grinded it out together, and we really enjoyed this. Spoilers alert, I galaxy brained on who the killer was because in like episode 3, I think, I said to Mel, again, spoilers, I said to Mel, um, the mom is out and about naked every time someone is getting killed. What if it's her? And it was a total just throwaway line. I didn't mean anything by it. I didn't think it was actually going to be a bullseye, but I got it dead fucking on. I'm a fucking genius, and I'm running to the grave with this one. I'm going to keep that with me forever. But overall, His and Hers, a great show, ranked it an 83 out of 100. I had a good time with it. And then let's move on to the 2 seasons of The Walking Dead that I watched, starting it off with season 4, which I ranked an 87 out of 100. I think, um, I think this might be my least favorite of the show so far. I'm really not sure, to be honest. I feel like it's like neck and I ranked it an 87 because it is neck and neck with season 1 for me, and I feel like a lot of this, especially the second half of this season, our characters are not together, and that hurts my feelings. The first half, the end of the prison arc is fantastic, and the final episode of the fucking prison arc, man, hurts my fucking soul. I'm so fucking sad that Herschel died. Herschel was legitimately my favorite fucking character, and the governor is responsible for 2 of my favorite characters' deaths in Andrea and Herschel, and I'm really fucking mad about it. So, fuck the governor. Fuck the governor. All right, let's move on to season 3, which are ranking 90 out of 100. My second favorite season so far. Still, season 2 is my favorite, and overall ranked this at 90. I'm kidding. Rank this a 90 out of 100. I think it's still a really amazing season. And so far through season 5, I'm also really enjoying it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes, seeing where we go with season 5 right now after, getting out of Terminus. And actually, I just learned that Eugene does not know a cure and he's a liar, which I kind of expected anyways. But let's get into the movies of the week. I watched 11 movies this week. I've been really taking it slow on movies, been trying to watch Walking Dead more than anything. I want to finish The Walking Dead before March 1st so that I can grind out Peaky Blinders before the movie comes out in March. But let's go. At number 11, my least favorite of the week is Hedda, directed by Nia DaCosta, who is one of my goals for the year. I want to go through more of her filmography, more so the ones that I haven't seen yet, but also the Marvels, which is the only one I have seen. So I believe Nia DaCosta has made Hedda, 28 years later, The Bone Temple, which we'll talk about in a moment, and I'll be kidding. And I think the Candyman, the newer Candyman. So I'd like to do that. There's another one that I'm trying to remember. I'm blanking on, but yeah, there's a few Nia DaCosta films that I want to watch, and this was one of them. Um, Definitely praised from last year because of the tremendous acting we have in this film, and that's definitely my favorite parts of the film. I don't love this movie by any means, but I really enjoyed the three leads, or leading performances from our three leading ladies in this film. So, yeah, ranked it a 61 out of 100. Let's move on to 28 Weeks Later. It's a fantastic opening scene, and the rest of the movie is just fine. Although I do quite enjoy the end with the, found footage style of looking through a night vision scope on a rifle. I think that's really cool. What are you doing? You can't go up there. I think that's really cool, and I enjoyed that. And honestly, I don't even remember that in the first time I watched this last year. So it was fun to kind of revisit that. And obviously, this is one of my themes for the week. But 28 weeks later, I ranked a 63 out of 100. I think it's just fine. Let's move on to one of two 2026 movies I watched this week, which this one is my least favorite of the two. But Cosmic Princess Kaguya, Kaguya, however you want to pronounce it, which did recently come out on Netflix. It's a really fun movie, but it's kind of random. It's kind of hard to follow just because there's so much going on, and we have like 16 different plot points I find at times, but it's a little over convoluted, but it's still fun. There's some good emotion to it. I'm not a huge fan of the music either, which kind of lowers the rating, but it's a gorgeous film to look at, and I really like the idea of joining or going into like a VR sim as like a character in your video game. I think that'd be really fun, which maybe will be something we can do in the future someday. I'm sorry, like this is oh she's falling. Sorry, kitty. Anyways, let's move on to Fruitvale Station, which is the only Ryan Coogler movie I had not watched. And I had a bit of a Ryan Coogler week as well, which we'll talk about more in a moment. But Fruitvale Station, ranked at a 72 out of 100 based on a true story. It's a very sad true story, and I would recommend checking it out. It's a very solid movie, ranked at a 72 out of 100, and it's a good, I believe, directorial debut from Ryan Coogler as well. So definitely check that out. Now let's move on to Hamnet, which I watched today at the time of recording this. Ranked it a 73 out of 100. I think it's a decent movie, but the final 20 minutes, the play with Noah Jupe at the end was fantastic, and it really carried this 3.5 star rating, to be honest, because I would have given this a 3 star. But I gave it a 3.5 because of the end, and I loved the ending of the movie. I think it's fantastic. Jesse Buckley is easily the best performance that I've seen this year, perhaps even this decade. I've never been brought to tears, not that I can think of, but I've never been brought to tears from a actor's performance. Like I've cried with an actor, but actually falling into tears because of the actor's performance, I can't say that I have any memory of ever doing that before until Jesse Buckley with Hamnet. So that was really fun. Ow, she fell again and she scratched my neck. Ow. Anyways, it's a solid movie. There's some really fantastic acting throughout. Jesse Buckley, Paul Mescal, and both of the Jupe brothers, Jacoby, I believe, and Noah, are fantastic in this. So definitely check it out. It's in theaters right now. 73 out of 100. Let's move on to 28 Years Later, which I lowered about 10 points. So quite a bit from a 4 star to a 3.5, down to a 74 out of 100. I think this is a good movie, but ultimately, I it's something I have to accept with a Danny Boyle film is that it's probably going to be weird. And this is definitely the case with both 28 Days and Years Later. But the ending of this movie really throws me for a loop. I don't like the ending at all. I don't really remember having much like indifference about the ending the first time watching it last year, but this time I really didn't like the ending, and that really threw me off. There's definitely some good moments, and honestly, I remember feeling more anxious in this film than I remember, but overall, I think it's a good movie. It went down quite a bit, so 74 out of 100. Now let's move on to the newest installment of the franchise, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, which I ranked a 78 out of 100. I like the Jimmy Gang, but of course, Ralph Fiennes and Jack O'Connell are the shining stars in this film. Sadly, no Aaron Taylor Johnson. Spoilers ahead. Very glad to see Killian Murphy back in this franchise at the end. I'm excited to see how that goes and where we go with part three of the bone or of 28 Years Later. We'll see how that ends. And Samson, the Samson arc is really great. I really love the Samson arc. I think it's quite fun. It's quite fantastic, and I really enjoy that. And again, Samson with um, Kelson, I really enjoy it. It's just a duo that I'm quite attached to, and I really enjoyed. And the entire Satan sequence with the Jimmy Gang, I really enjoyed too. Ralph Fiennes puts in the work. Iron Maiden soundtrack, the Needle Drop is fantastic as well. And I think this is now my favorite Nia DaCosta film by quite a big margin as well, so far at least. So 78 out of 100. I really enjoyed it. If you want to see a more extensive review, it is on my Instagram. Go check it out, please. Let's move on to how I started the week with DD, which I ranked an 82 out of 100. This is something I wanted to watch a couple years ago when it came out. Never got a chance to do it. Finally getting around to it now. I really enjoyed this. This is a really funny coming of age story, and this is probably one of the funniest movies I've seen in a while. I was laughing a lot in this movie because some of the stuff that was said is stuff that I say to this day or I said when I was a kid, and it's just I relating to that, relating to those funny one-liners you'd say to your friends. I really enjoyed that because it's just something I can relate to. It's something that I was like, something that I was always doing, and I am doing with my friends. So Dee Dee's a really nice coming of age, and finding the like respect and love for your family and your mother, which is not something I ever had to deal with. I've always had a very close relationship with my mother, but there's still some other parts of this film that I really relate to, and Dee Dee's great. Ranked at 82 out of 100. I definitely recommend. All right, so let's move on to the top three of the week, starting it off with 28 Days Later, which I raised about 10 points from like an 80 or an 81, I think, to a 90. Ranked it a 4.5 star now. It's really great. Um, a lot of this movie, there's not a lot of zombie action, and that's okay. When we get that zombie action, it's thrilling, it's horrifying. The editing really makes for a scary time of this film. I remember being much more anxious and on the edge of my seat this time than last year when I watched it for the first time. So I really enjoyed that. And even like, the backdrop that I have here, we have a row of flowers, something that's supposed to be beautiful. It's all grainy and disoriented because in this dirty world, it's hard to still find the beauty, but these characters do still find the beauty in this dark, demented world. And I love that. That's really what I think every zombie film or universe is. That's like the heart, that's the plot of that. And I love that. That's probably why the zombie genre is some of my favorite in the horror, I guess, in horror. And I really enjoy that. So 90 out of 100, really enjoyed 28 Days Later, a lot more than I remembered. So let's move on to number two, Deadpool and Wolverine, which I ranked a 92 out of 100. Mel and I watched it together this week. We wanted to watch it literally like all of 2025, but we never got around to watching it for whatever reason. Finally rewatched it, and my rating has changed for this movie every single time I've watched it. I think I had it originally at a 95, then down to a 90, then up to a 91, now up to a 92. So it's been all over the place, but I really love this movie, not just for the cameos. The cameos don't even really matter as much to me now. It's just fun, and it's probably my favorite soundtrack in any film ever. I love the soundtrack. This movie kind of made me fall in love with some 2000s grunge and made me want to listen to Madonna as well. So, shout out Deadpool and Wolverine. And let's move on to my favorite watch of the week, my newest 5 star, which is Sinners, which I ranked a 97 out of 100. It's gone up each time, I believe, from an 86 to a 93, now to a 97. And yeah, it's still probably my fourth favorite film of 2025. But after hearing the 16 nominations it received at the Oscars, I'm very happy for it. Even though it's not my favorite movie of the year, this is the movie that I want to win the most and the movie I'm cheering for the most heading into Oscar season. I'm really happy about that because I think everyone involved deserves that. So, really happy about the 16 noms, the record breaking Sinners, and I love that. So, nonetheless, that's everything for today. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully, you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.